Across Australia, New Zealand and the South Pacific, this is the week's Adventist News in Focus.
Hello, thanks so much for joining us. I'm Sibel Kute. A new report shows Australia's not-for-profit sector is larger than many expected. It's a $103 billion industry that employs nearly 10% of the nation's workforce. The report from the new statutory agency, the Australian Charities and Not-for-Profits Commission, shows that organisations whose primary purpose is religious are easily the single largest category within the sector. And that's even before the faith-based nature of many schools, health services and welfare agencies is taken into account. The ACNC was set up only a few years ago with the mission of increasing the accountability and transparency of the not-for-profit sector. Britain's move to begin airstrikes on ISIS targets in Syria has been controversial at home, with Christian organisations taking opposing views on the escalation of military force. Both the Church of England and the Catholic Church in the UK have offered their regretful support of military action in Syria, saying that the defence of civilians is necessary and that ISIS must be stopped. But other church groups have been less quick to support the decision to begin airstrikes. The Quakers have spoken out against bombing and arms sales, saying the world needs to invest in peace. And the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the UK has called for dialogue and negotiations and has committed to helping those whose lives have been impacted by war. As Americans struggle to make sense of the country's most deadly mass shooting since Sandy Hook, stories of miraculous escapes are emerging. Adventist woman Amanda Gaspard was the organiser of the staff Christmas event targeted by the shooters and had called for a break in proceedings just before the attack began. If she hadn't, she says, there would have been more people in the room. According to Adventist Review, Ms. Gaspard was one of the 21 people injured in the California attack. During the massacre, one of the shooters stood over her, but inexplicably shot her in the leg rather than inflicting a fatal wound. Even after being injured, Ms. Gaspard encouraged and prayed with her colleagues, earning their admiration. After surgery to her leg, she's stable and on the road to recovery. The church-based Road to Bethlehem program is growing every year with 9 nativity events across Australia and New Zealand scheduled in the lead-up to Christmas.
People of Jerusalem, now hear this!
The Road to Bethlehem gives visitors a glimpse into how people lived in New Testament times and retells the story of Jesus' birth.
The King shall be born in Bethlehem.
It is something that brings healing. There is a story of a baby that came and actually offers people life.
The free community outreach events are coordinated by various Adventist congregations during December. And that's the week's Adventist News. In the full half hour of Record in Focus, you can see more Christian news from around the world, as well as these special features. Evidence for the ancient biblical prophecy about Cyrus.
And one of the reasons why God makes predictions in the book of Isaiah is to say, listen, I am God. Yeah. Who else can tell the end from the beginning?
Crowded house, the challenges of a multi-generational family.
And so it raises issues of how do we all manage privacy? How do we manage quiet time? How do we manage relationships?
And we meet Milton Das, a sponsor child who's now running the program that supported him.
I'm so privileged to be a person who received these blessings, and these blessings came from this country, Australia.
Record in Focus plays every week on Hope Channel, Foxtel's Australian Christian Channel, and on Digital 44 in Adelaide. Check it out. Thanks for your company. I'll see you next time on InFocus Adventist News. God bless.